I don't even know what we're talking about, but
Me
we're going to talk
neither.
about it
Me neither.
very strongly.
This is
Yeah.
like a therapy session
Is it?
because for you, not for me. I'm fine.
I think I'm okay too. I like what you're doing in the background though. It's snazzy.
Which thing? This thing with
Yeah,
the
right over your shoulder.
this right here?
Yeah, it's
This
very
this
smart.
old thing?
Very cool. It's high quality. The production value is just a,
Oh wow. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's good. So I think that's all I need. Maybe this is a therapy session for me. Maybe this is just you
Hyping
hyping
you
me
up.
up.
Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. Wycheck. Dyson's going to go all the way. With 3-2 for the winner.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
That's caught by Des Bryant.
I just found like a perfect mug for any Ravens fan.
We almost always win. Yeah.
Well, that's not what it says.
Almost win. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That's good. If that came in purple and gold, it'd be the top seller.
you think it just needs a color shift? You don't like
I think
the white
it just needs a colorway.
Okay.
Yeah, if we look
Okay.
powerfully into a new colorway, I think we'd be right there.
We almost always almost win. I feel like that really sums up the Baltimore Ravens, and this is kind
I
of
should
the
have
final.
worn this shirt. I have a shirt from the UK Ravens that it took like a Harbaugh quote of like, it's not always pretty, but it's us, or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's basically never pretty. So this is kind of the final graphic, I guess. Oh, you know what? This doesn't even have the Patriots game on here, so it's not even fully updated.
yeah,
It needs
there's a
Patriots
newer,
game.
bigger, better one.
And
But,
I also I'm
I
gonna
think
see
that
how long-
illustrates the point. Do you think does that illustrate the point?
I'm going to see how long this Ravens mini helmet will balance on my microphone.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's kind of how the Ravens were kind of, I don't know,
On the edge of
balancing
relevancy.
by a thread on the edge of falling apart.
Sure.
So last time we talked was right after this game. The Ravens led 40-20. I can't even believe that. Like intuitively, I remember that game was crazy, but I just like
it hurts
seeing
to see it like that.
It's just,
But it
just
also doesn't. You know, everything was a martyr this year. It turns out with the news that broke a couple days ago, it feels like all of this was like a martyr. And for that, we'll remember it, you know, and call it it was a heroic season.
yeah, burying the lead here. John Harbaugh was fired by the Ravens, and he is now the hottest coaching candidate. Every team wants him that has a vacancy. The Dolphins, after I can only assume after learning that he was available, they like completely like made a 180-degree turn on Mike McDaniel and fired him.
Yeah.
Which
is a little nutso if you think about it, because they might not get him. Right. They almost certainly won't get him.
The Stephen Ross connection, I think, is huge because it's the whole like Michigan like network, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, they might not. I mean, I was kind of like thinking, I was kind of brainstorming of what could happen, and what if Harbaugh goes to the Dolphins and then the Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Dolphins, and he can finally go to a place that's warm. And not freeze to death.
I don't think
and
that'll
get the
happen.
flu every winter.
Mm.
Just an idea.
I just think there's not enough room for Jesus in Vice City, so for that reason, he's out.
Which one? Both of them, Lamar and Harbaugh.
However you want to interpret that. Mostly Harbaugh.
Oh man. So, yeah. How are you feeling? It's the end of an era for sure. I mean,
yeah.
I pulled up the last game that the Ravens didn't have John Harbaugh on the sideline.
You're remembering guys with this.
It was Charlie Batch versus Troy Smith because
Incredible.
the Steelers had already locked up a playoff spot, so they didn't need to play Big Ben. And it was before they'd even drafted Flacco. It was December 30th, 2007. George W. Bush was president of the United States.
That's the real context we needed. That's the context.
Right.
Everything, political administrations really helps you gauge how long things have been.
Yeah.
So that's pretty powerful when you put it that way.
Phil Rivers was a young man, a young quarterback for the for the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, right. Rookie, right?
No, he was probably in his third year. He was in the 04 draft class.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So that was the last time the Ravens played a game without John Harbaugh as their coach. It's truly the end of an era in Baltimore.
Years.
And I don't know. How are you feeling? You feeling? I know that you were kind of I wouldn't say rooting for this, but you were kind of rooting for this a little bit.
You know, I made it a little bit of part of my brand because I like a bit. We love a bit. And I was a big supporter. You know, Harbaugh has had a lot of hate in this town for that picture. He's had a lot of hate in this town for years. A lot of people think that Lamar saved his career in 2018, and that could be very well true. I defended him. I said, you know, good luck finding a better coach. And then something happened in 2023. And when Mike McDaniel, seemed like that dude, and we were having all the success, I said, you need to find a way to transition away from Harbaugh. He's not getting any younger. He's in his 60s. I need to go to this guy. And then they get all the way to the AFC Championship game. They lose. It's like an impossible task to fire somebody after the AFC Championship game. And they don't do it. And I'm in shambles. And I'm like, you can't let this guy leave Baltimore. And he left. And at that point, that was like kind of the turning point for me, being like, I think they've made a mistake retaining Harbaugh for this long. And it wasn't about him. It was just the fact that, I don't know, reading the tea leaves, right? Like, he's not going to coach for another 10 years, probably. And this guy is. And he seems really, really good. He's already right here.
Mike McDonald.
McDonald.
Now, Seattle Seahawks head coach.
Mikey Mack.
Coach of the year candidate this year.
Correct. That guy. Number 1 in DVOA.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that good stuff.
Number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah. Go Seahawks. So I think that was kind of a turning point for me. But I still defended him in 24, saying that, you know, I thought he was a solid coach. But man, week 1 happened, and it was kind of like, I can't believe we're doing this all over again, right? And everything kind of like came to a head. I wrote my post, Fire John Harbaugh, and
that was after week 1.
That
was even before they started 0-3.
Less than an hour after week 1, I was done. And it's one of those things where, like, it seems very whiplashy, but I tried to say in my post, like, this does not come like. I'm telling you, this is not like a knee-jerk reaction. This is considered. Like, I just can't believe we keep, you know, like the whole like insanity quote, right? We keep doing the same thing. So I became comfortable with the idea of firing John Harbaugh. And frankly, like, his actions during the preseason didn't help either, right? A little trip down to DC. So I had a bunch of reasons.
It's right there.
It's an honor to go to the White House.
It's like a 45-minute drive. Yeah, it's like
yeah. Anyway, so he's starting to lose favor in my book, and then I'm just watching, you know, the 1,000-mile stare, him just like losing his mind, team slipping, just lack of confidence, and I thought to myself, you know, kind of similar to what's going on right now. Like, we're going to get rid of this guy. In the world that we get rid of this guy, he's going to be highly coveted. And I think that's fine, because I do think he's a better than most coaches. And I think he will raise the floor of any organization he goes to, and they will become a very competent team. However, I really do struggle in today's NFL, 2026. I struggle to see him reaching the mountaintop and winning the Super Bowl, which is the ultimate goal. And because of that, I'm out. And I hope I put it in my last blog post. Like, I really appreciate, Derek has a lot to do with the Wicked theming. He said, no one mourns the Harbaugh. And I was like, oh, that's a great.
Yeah, because I texted you about it, and I was like, hey, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
And here we are. And you were like, I can't right now. I'm on my way to see Wicked. And so
I thought it was,
yeah, it's perfect.
I thought it was very clever. And then I was like, and then watching the show, because I never seen it live before, I only seen the movies, which is a hilarious thing to say, given the fact that it existed for so much longer on Broadway. But I had the line like, I hope you prove me wrong. I doubt you will, or whatever. And I put that at the end because I
who would have thought that this would become just Wicked themed?
it became Wicked themed, and I just said, I think that he's not going to do it again. And if he proves me wrong, congratulations, John. It's going to be like someone compared it to seeing Joe Flacco on opposing sidelines and like playing for all these other teams, and that's 100% correct. Like, that's how I feel.
So is John Harbaugh is he the alphaba in this scenario? And you're killing. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, yeah. We can't possibly.
Yeah, can't spoil something that's been around for
a very long time,
40 years.
And like
that's based on something that's been around for 100 years.
Exactly.
That's based on another thing that's been around for 150 years.
I think we have to look really strongly into not spoiling this. It would break a lot.
Yeah, we can't spoil Wicked.
But I think, sort of. I think there is an element of like someone, like there's a scapegoat in this process, but I don't think he's like fully acquitted. The one thing I'll say is this: if you watch the video the Ravens put out of like "Thank you, John," right, and it's like a 7-minute sequence of like moments from his career, you can tell that he's just like a grandpa now. He's older.
He did get old all of a sudden.
It's like not his fault, but like I just can't. No. I can't believe that a 62-year-old, even if it's above average for 62-year-olds, which I think is true, has the same like drive and relentlessness to try to win the Super Bowl, particularly as he's already reached a mountain. It's not like he's never done it before.
Yeah.
So it's like I just feel like
It's ironic because like I think an interesting comparison is the Seahawks with Pete Carroll, when they kind of transitioned him out, even though like the team wasn't like unsuccessful. They like transitioned him out and they brought in Mike McDonald, ironically, who you're saying you wish the Ravens had done that with Harbaugh. So it's not unlike that. Harbaugh's like probably, was he 10 years younger than Pete Carroll? But still,
yeah, probably.
I mean, it got stale, and I think maybe a change of scenery and a change of kind of environment for both of them might work out.
He became more of a player's coach instead of a hard ass, and I think that's fine. But I think the problem is if like the team needs a little bit more hard assery right now, I don't think he can pivot. Like everyone knows like who he was, you know what I mean? So I feel like if he needs to rebrand himself or find like a little bit of a different identity, it has to be somewhere else. And I think he would struggle to do so in his current role.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a really impressive sustained run of success.
Yeah.
Was it 3 losing seasons and 2 of them were 8 and 9?
Yeah. Indeed. Well, you put it that way, you make it seem very spoiled. And we are.
Oh, incredibly spoiled. Yeah, I mean,
we are.
This is the third head coach in Ravens history. And you know, there have been teams. The Colts, 2 years ago, had 3 head coaches in one season. So it's just it's kind of like they're on like another plane of stability, which is kind of their whole thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I just think I felt like it was time, and for both sides, I think this gives an opportunity for John to try and do what I think he can't do somewhere else, and like really cement his legacy, frankly, and not be remembered for these collapses. Unfortunately, in Baltimore, the tenor became like the longer this keeps happening, and like it's like he's like known as the guy who like will falter. They will like screw up, and the team got that reputation, and so much so that even other teams acknowledged it in their press conferences as far as their strategy.
Yeah, we just got to be within 16 points in the fourth quarter, and we got a chance.
4 minutes, and it's fine.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, it is wild. They had all these collapses and still like so few losing seasons.
When they lose, I mean, it's a little bit of survival bias, right? Like they frequently have leads because they're good,
right.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I think one of the things that I was trying to communicate with somebody, and it sounds so like rude, and I acknowledge that this sounds rude, but like,
I'm excited.
I said, John lost the plot about actually winning football games. And what I mean by that is like, I think he refuses to like really embrace the game theory aspect of the game of football. Like it is indeed a game that has like rules that can be exploited you know, like for instance, the fact they weren't able to ice that game, you know, up 16 points. Now, granted, these graphics are always a little jaded because this is like milliseconds before they're about to score, right?
Sure.
Their first touchdown. So like it's or like whatever, their first score and their comeback. But it's still one of those things where I think he like loses the plot. Like for instance, even the last game of the season, I think it's interesting that the conversation became all about Luke missing a kick, but it also could have been, why did Zay Flowers not need it at the 1? Because it went down to the 2-minute warning. They had no other timeouts. They could have needed it again, take it to 1:15. Needed maybe one more time if you want to be aggressive about it. And you could have completely took out the clock and tried to get a touchdown there. And if you fail, you kick a field goal. And, you know, I understand procedural things could happen, but you put the defense back on the field and you saw what happened there. Like there was risk on both sides, particularly because the defense wasn't stopping anything. And I think like that's something to be discussed. There's been a couple like time management, game clock things. Like he's been notoriously bad at game management and using timeouts properly and trying to run out the clock and things of that nature. Like that's been one of his biggest, I guess like negative points that a lot of people have pointed at. So much so like that for years, I would say at least since I was doing the show back in 19 and 18, people were talking like, can we like hire someone that all they do is think about like in-game logistics, because apparently John can't handle that. And that's not to say that it's an easy job. Like there's a lot he has to be paying attention to as a head coach on, you know, game day. I think like that never bubbled up as a priority to try to eke out a little bit more win percentage. It bothered me.
Yeah. And I mean, they came so close in a lot of things. You mentioned the last game of the season against the Steelers that determined the winner of the AFC North. And I just thought this really kind of sums it up, because that kick by Loop, 44-yard kick, if it goes through, Mike Tomlin on the other sideline for the Steelers probably gets fired. Instead, he has a home playoff game this week. And it went wide right? Did it go wide right?
Wide right.
And so Jim
you can call
Harbaugh
it far right.
got fired. Yeah, it wasn't really close. It was not. Poor
It
Tyler.
it hit the third shoelace instead of the fourth, which we all know means that it's going to go far right.
Did it hit the net at least? Did he at least hit the net, or did it go wide of the net?
I think it hit the net. I don't know. all I know is that apparently the second he hit it, he knew that he thinned it, quote unquote, and that it was going to be no good. Which sucks. I do genuinely feel really bad.
Oh my God,
yeah, man.
It's the worst thing in football is when it comes down to that.
Yeah, and it's the craziest stat, like that they're in 60,000 kicks in the NFL. Like there's never been one kick quite like this one, where both teams' playoff chances came down to this kick, and there was no more time. You know what I mean? Like there's never been a game-winning, playoff-deciding kick ever. Obviously, there's been like game-winning kicks in the playoffs, so that's a very comparable kick. But there can't be that
last
many
week of the
them.
season.
Yeah, but like the last week of the season, that was a new one.
Like all the things that had to come together for this moment to happen. I mean, even down to the fact that like Boswell missed the extra point,
and then likely gets that ridiculous 4th and 7 catch, like in traffic, like just a dime. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that happen.
But yeah, I mean, in fact, Boswell missed that, which was that tipped? I had heard
it was tipped.
Yeah. So they blocked the extra point to keep it a 2-point game. So this kick is literally to send the Ravens to the playoffs or to not.
Yeah.
And,
And it's
brutal.
funny too, because like when Tucker got released and all that was going on, the discourse was like, they're going to be a game-winning kick. Like there's going to be moments that they lean on it, maybe even in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. And when it came up, I just like, it all came flooding back, like all those like conversations and things of that nature that like, you know, this kicker is going to matter at some point this season and it's going to be a storyline. And I was like, oh man.
You have your annoying friend telling you that no team should ever draft a kicker under any circumstances.
Yeah, I think it's a decent take.
And then bringing that back up in the moments before. I
really respect that guy. I will also say, like, when he missed the field goal, I said, rats, like, they're going to try to, like, they're going to shoot for the field goal. They're not going to try to score a touchdown, per se. And I did not trust Luke.
There's a weird thing where your win percentage is actually better. I'm going to take this off the mic now. But there's this weird thing where your win percentage is actually better if you're down 4 in that scenario, because you you don't put such a like governor on the offense to just settle for that field goal. And like there was a weird play where Hopkins was like open on the sideline and Lamar just kind of missed him.
It was a miscommunication because if he thought Hopkins realized if he kept going downfield, there was no one there. So he was like, just trying to like float it over the top, and like he could have ran for a while.
Right.
But yeah, the little miscommunications there. The got off the ball line too quickly, or was like not aligned correctly on Stanley for a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Which is it was an incredible season later bookend to the week 1 against the Chiefs, where they called him like 3 times on the first drive because it was like a point.
Or last year.
Yeah, it was like a point of emphasis, and they never called it again, like for anyone else.
Yeah, because he was lined up too far back. Is that what it was?
And that was the game that we lost by a toe.
Right.
If he wore white cleats, like maybe it would have been called a catch.
Yeah, and there were so many like. The Ravens this year, they had so many like weird missed like where things just kind of broke the wrong way for them, like the likely catch in the end zone.
Yeah,
where
the first Steelers game was like nuts.
It was ruled not a catch.
Folks might not know this, but the NFL literally apologized to the Ravens and told them they could say it out loud at a press conference that like they
not the likely
call, but on the Travis Jones call, which like no one else is paying attention to.
Was it the Steelers game?
It was a Steelers game. That game had 3 bad calls. If you want, I could tell you about them. But the first one was they called a leverage call on Travis Jones on the field goal.
Oh.
So then they like got the ball, like they moved it up 10 yards over, fresh set of downs, and they scored a touchdown. So that was a swing of 4 points because they would have just kicked the field goal and it would have went through and that been it. So that was a swing of 4 points. They apologized for that one because like it was just not it was an incorrect call. And like the broadcast was like saying like that's not right. Like I don't know why they called that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The second bad call was the interception, which is quaint that this happened in the same game that they like discussed like what's a catch. There was 2 points of like what is a catch is unknown because basically like Rodgers threw it and Travis Jones caught it and Buchanan caught it and they both came down with the ball together and they said and they were like, oh, Rodgers had it like because he's an offensive player, but it's he didn't do a football move. He kind of just like clapped his hands on it. Like, is that a catch?
Yeah.
Anyways. And so it was a whole thing. So there was a lot of bad calls in that game. That game was out of hand. But they had that. What else? There was another like.
There was the one where it was like an offensive pass interference on a Zay Flowers touchdown.
Oh yeah, the push offs. Right.
Yeah.
They were saying that Zay was pushing off when everybody else in their was pushing off.
Yeah, and Zay Flowers weighs like 110 pounds. Like he can't push off of anything.
Right.
So
yeah, he has no mass.
It's like I don't see how it's possible for him to get called for offensive pass interference.
Correct.
He's not. So
yeah, physically it's impossible. If you had a physics textbook, you would know this. But,
right. Exactly. Yeah.
But the NFL officiators, even though that I think one of the officiators in that game potentially works at a place that has physics lab in the name.
Wow.
He didn't know.
We got to look into that. We got to investigate that.
We must.
Yeah. Well, Harbaugh, I mean, there's no way around like saying he's like one of the best coaches of this era. If you look at active coaches now, he's 4th all time in wins, just behind Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, and Sean Payton. And then all time playoff wins. Did you know this? He's 7th all time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he has 5 more than Mike Tomlin.
Well, that's not surprising.
Well, yeah, but Belichick, of course, like kind of outpacing everyone, and then Reid, Landry, Shula, Gibbs. I mean, these are some of the best coaches of all time. Like these are Super Bowl winning, multiple Super Bowl winning coaches. He's the only one on this list that only has 1. So, I mean, it's undeniable that this was one of the best runs that a coach has had, and yet they didn't win. They didn't win a Super Bowl for the last 13 years that he was there.
Yeah, it's been a lot of that, but I think like it. I understand very well being a Ravens fan now that like how much luck goes into postseason runs.
Sure,
and like actually winning a Super Bowl is tough. And there's this clip that's going around of Harbaugh that people are blasting him for. That when I heard him say that, I actually like a little bit respected like at that time. And it's basically saying like, everyone acts like winning the Super Bowl is everything, and that's couldn't be farther from the truth. He thought that it's much more important about like how you approach every day, because that's such a hard thing to like actually achieve. Like there's so many things that you achieve during the course of a season that saying that a season's a failure because you didn't win the Super Bowl is ridiculous. And I think that's like I personally like really do feel that, but at the same time, I can see detractors and even like Bisciotti, the owner, saying like, yeah, but like, we're trying to win the Super Bowl, right? Like for you, it is a failure.
And I think it's different for every team every year. Like,
right.
Like, are the Tennessee Titans a failure because they didn't win the Super Bowl this year? I mean, no. Like, nobody thought that was possible. Are the Ravens? Maybe. I mean, they were literally the betting Super Bowl favorite going into the season. They've been in the playoffs every year. Like,
it's kind of a moving target. Maddening to me that this year I go in and I plant my flag that they have assembled the best roster they've ever done. And my wife hoses me for saying, you always say that. And I said to her, but Rachel, everybody's saying that. Like, it's not just me. It is consensus. Yeah. People are actually saying this year the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. Like, this is the year. Like, they have like done the thing. And she's like, whatever, She didn't know what the Maha Miracle was. She didn't know if they won that game until like a couple weeks ago. So like, they give you context of like Rachel's understanding of football lore, particularly with the Ravens. But yeah, I was like, no, seriously, this is like an incredibly stacked roster. It's gonna be great. And then the first week happens, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna be great. Like I'm very concerned. And then they lose again. Oh, they won. They won the next week, but then they lost.
No, they started 0-3.
No, that's not true.
What?
They won. They won the second game against.
I mean, you're probably right because
they won the second.
You live and breathe this
Cleveland.
stuff, but oh yeah, they beat Cleveland.
But then they lost.
I'm not really counting that. I'm not really counting
no
Cleveland.
One did. Then they lost 4 straight.
Yeah, then they lost to Detroit, Kansas City, Houston, and L.A.
All good teams.
Really good teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and they didn't have Lamar for the last 2 of those.
Correct.
And they had a good lost to Kansas City, but
yeah, a good bit of the Chiefs game.
Oh, the Chiefs.
I think the thing that's interesting is when we looked at the schedule, we're like, ooh, that's going to be a tough run. And like 3-2 would be nice. 2-3, like we could live with it. So like once we just like didn't steal one more. But then everyone was like, look at the rest of the season.
Well, then they went on that like most predictable 5-game winning streak of all time.
Correct.
Yeah. But looking back, I mean, they beat the Bears, who
that was the
2 seed in the NFC.
That was the marquee game. I think one of the biggest criticisms that I had of the team this year was the fact that when Tyler Huntley was the quarterback, they called a completely different offense. They said, one read, maybe a second read if you're lucky, and then run. And we were like, if Lamar was doing that with this offensive line, like that could be great because they were kind of going for all these kill shots with Lamar, and he was still clearly not fully healthy. And, had the ankle tape and all that good stuff. So I think he was misjudging his capabilities to escape the pocket. And like, there were so many like where he would be Houdini normally with the like full health. Like he would just get like tripped up or like whatever. He was like always like a half beat behind. I felt like when he was still recovering from his injury. So
yeah.
Anyways, I definitely think that was one of my biggest criticisms. Like, I think they need to simplify the offense, lean on Henry, like just move the chains. But I think it's a little bit of a critique on Lamar. Like, I think that he just in his bones wants to go for those kill shots too. So I think I don't think he's completely blameless, but I do also think at the end of the day they do usually run the plays that are called.
Yeah.
As much as I always think like the player should just be the I think the OC should just provide like tips and hints, but like the player should just call the offense. Like if you're a top quarterback, I think you should be just basically calling your own shots.
I just remembered my I had this feeling that I couldn't quite place of not thinking Todd Monken was a good offensive coordinator, and I couldn't remember why I felt that way, and then it all kind of came back to me. And it was that in their first game with him as offensive coordinator, they cut to him in the booth, and right at that moment, he took a can of Diet Coke and took a drink from it. Like while he's calling the game, he was like drinking a Diet Coke, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out. And that's it. He's not a good coordinator. He's drinking Diet Coke in the booth while calling the game. Can't do it.
Yeah. But if it was Coke Zero, you would have been like,
was it? Yeah. No. Well, if it was,
no, I'm saying if it was Coke Zero,
maybe a nice mug, maybe a a mug of like a steaming cup of coffee or something, you know, maybe just like hitting a smelling salt or something, I would have been like, oh, I'm in on this guy. But you know, just like sipping aspartame, I don't know. I can't get on board for someone calling good plays in that kind of environment.
It does.
That's not football to me. You can't. If you're able to drink a Diet Coke, you're not actually involved in a football game. Maybe that's a boomer take of me.
It's a strong one.
It's correct. So I don't. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah.
On the Derek scale, it has to be correct.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's the way the world should be. So what do you think? Where do you think they go next with their
I knew this question was going to come. I have literally.
Hey. Oh, I'm so predictable.
Yeah, you are. Well, everyone's like, so who do you want them to hire next?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know Harbaugh when we hired him.
Right.
That was a little bit out.
No one did. Was he the special teams coordinator under Reed? Was that his job before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the second choice, which a lot of people don't realize. They actually
I don't remember that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but they actually. So after they picked Harbaugh, they released to the season ticket holders at that time, which I was not one. I was very young. But like they released like a pamphlet or a booklet of like explaining the hiring process and how like Jason Garrett was actually their number one. But then
Jason Garrett, really?
Yeah, and then they went to the Cowboys.
Oh man, that's funny.
So he went to the Cowboys and they're like, well, we got our second choice.
Oh man, God. I wish that could have flipped. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, so it might have worked out for him. But the thing is,
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so they hired Harbaugh. And no one knew who he was, blah, blah, blah. And I think, honestly, though, it's from a different era of football. Now, because, like, there's so many offensive calling head coaches. I mean, there are also some that call the defense, but a lot more on offense. The meta is find one of these offensive savants, make them have the highest position in the land so they can't go anywhere, and keep them for a while. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty smart. Like, I used to be anti that because I felt like the head coach had to worry about other things. But then I realized you could just hire more people. And I was like, if the head coach has the responsibility of also calling the offensive plays and you don't have to worry about losing them all the time, that could be nice.
Yeah, because we've kind of run into the situation where with quarterbacks, like Baker, like Jalen Hurts has had in the last like 8 years he's been playing football, he's had 8 different offensive coordinators.
Yeah,
which is insane. Like it's a credit to him for like finding success amongst that instability. Mm-hmm. So if you get and that does seem to be the one position where like you can lose a defensive coordinator and it's important, but it's not like it doesn't. They don't have the same relationship with like the defensive
everyone's running
players.
cover 3.
Well, yeah, and like, but there's that's such a like important like bond to get right between like an offensive coordinator, play caller, and a head coach. I mean, it's the stability of the Chiefs with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's part of their success.
Yeah.
And no one else, all the other like major quarterbacks haven't had that level of stability. I mean, that's the only play caller Patrick Mahomes has ever had. So
and I realize I'm a little bit of a hypocrite being like, oh, but I would be cool with Mike because he calls defense.
Yeah.
And my point with that is just that he calls defense so darn good, like, and that like I do value defensive coordinators. I mean, I lived in Baltimore, right? Like I like defense, but I at the same time also recognize now that we have this fresh slate. We didn't do the Mike thing. I'd have been cool with the Mike thing because I thought he was that special on defense. Then I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that now. I want to find an offensive guy preferably, but if they do defense, I won't like lose my mind. I just think it's tough, like you said, when you lack that stability, because this is something that like Harbaugh gets no credit for. He might have been a special teams coach, but if you had to ask me, he was a defensive coach. And the reason I would say that is twofold. First of all, defense and special teams are one thing in fantasy football, and that's the truth. Second thing is that there was a clear like defensive system that Harbaugh had. So all these coordinators came through, but they was running the same system. They've been running that system for a long time, and it was really Harbaugh was kind of at the epicenter of all that. While the offensive coordinator one had always flown with whoever the coordinator was. Mm-hmm. If you had to ask me though, my number one guy right now would be Clint Kubiak, and the only reason why is that like he's really making lemonade out of those lemons, and like he's doing some good work over in Seattle. We love Seattle, as we mentioned, because Seahawks, and frankly, like nepotism is really strong in Baltimore. we had his father for 1 year in 2014. That offense was dope.
Yeah.
And like nostalgia hits different. So we're like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's who I was going to pitch to you. So it's funny you brought him up because, ironically, he is Mike McDonald's offensive coordinator. So, like,
Yeah.
The other name I'm hearing is Jesse Mentor, who's the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, who's working
Yeah.
for Jim Harbaugh right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Ravens can't get away from being linked to these Harbaugh
Harbaughs.
figures.
Yeah.
Even after they fire him, like it's still
Yeah.
like, well, they could go after Jim's defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah, Mentor makes a lot of sense too. I wouldn't be mad about it. I think at the end of the day, I truly just felt like something had to change, and people are like, oh, like it could go worse, and I'm like, yep,
it can always be worse.
It can always be worse. There's always risk on both sides. Like, did you see what happened this year? I would consider that worse. Like I frankly, this was one of the worst outcomes you could possibly have. They were good enough not to get a top draft pick, but bad enough not to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is the worst place to be. Purgatory.
I think the only team that maybe had a worse like run out and a worse situation that became of it is the Colts, because they were like primed to be like the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then traded their next 2 years of first round picks. Now they don't even make the playoffs, don't even have their first round pick, don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
What a disaster. So at least I guess
Leonard was slinging it though, dude. And AR, who knows?
Yeah. Alec Pierce is like the greatest wide receiver that's ever played, apparently.
Very strong. We love Alex.
With Alex. The Alex. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a nice eulogy for the Ravens season.
I'm glad that, Devesh requested me to come on as quote unquote your Ravens friend. I don't think he knows that you have a lot of Ravens friends.
Too many, some are saying. No, I'm kidding. Love my Ravens love my Ravens friends.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate having this chat with you. I've been wanting to come on your Gangbusters podcast that, it's just growing.
Oh, it's growing very linearly.
That's fine. Linear is good. Exponential comes after linear.
Yeah.
Exponential looks linear at first. Many are saying.
Yes. I've run the numbers, and that is correct. Do you want to take a stab at some playoff predictions, or are you?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You certainly don't have to, but since I have
to make a bracket. I have to make a bracket, so this is a good opportunity to make
we
bracket.
can. This was me and Devesh's picks for the wild card round.
Nice.
He did not take this task very seriously, in my opinion, because he just set up a dream scenario for the Buffalo Bills. Who could have seen that coming? But so let's go through who you got in the Rams Panthers game.
Rams.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm so sad you don't have a head for me. I want to make sure you know.
I didn't think of having you do this until this moment.
Okay.
So I don't. I'm sorry, I don't have a head for you.
Okay.
Maybe that is something I will fix in the future. I'm deeply sorry.
That's okay.
Packers Bears.
Bears.
You're taking the Bears. All right.
Go Bears.
Some love for the Bears that Devesh and I did not give. The Packers have lost 4 in a row. It does seem like it would be difficult for them to just like get it right. But Bills Jags. They can't tie. They can't tie.
They can't tie, man. You're saying. I really struggle with this one. I think this is the hardest one to pick out of the whole rigmarole.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Because no one wants to believe the Jaguars are for real, including me. Everyone wants to give bias to the Bills, but I think it'd be poetic if the Jaguars beat them. So I'll go on your side.
Oh wow!
And it's not that I truly believe that; it's just that I think it would be poetic. And my reason for that is
you're all about the poetry.
Like, everyone thinks that it's the Bills' year, and they're going to get down the first round. Which, by the way, me doing this ruins me figuring out who's going to win the Super Bowl, because I have no idea, or like who's going to get to the Super Bowl for the AFC. Like, it feels like if I don't pick the Bills here, what am I doing?
I know. It leaves like a bunch of. I mean, the Bills are the only like the Bills are the only team that have been like a factor for the last few years, or like a Super Bowl contender over the last like 5 or 6 years of the teams that are in the AFC. So yeah, losing them is like you're losing the only blue blood left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think the Jags somehow will win this game despite being the Jags. Eagles 49ers.
This is the second hardest one to pick. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go 49ers. I just think I'm enjoying this run they're on, and the Eagles have just like not looked right all year. So therefore 49ers.
Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, is a rumored guy that the Ravens are going to take a look at to come in and be the head coach. That defense has been terrible, but I don't think it's his fault. They've just had an untenable number of injuries on
they
defense.
really did.
Patriots, Chargers, Harbaugh, v. Vrabel.
Third hardest.
I'm glad. Thank you for power ranking the difficulty of these to select.
No, I think honestly, I would say the fourth hardest was the Packers, Bears game.
Yeah,
but I think this one's challenging, and the reason why is the Chargers are really compromised. But I think they have a lot of upside.
They're similar to the Steelers in that, like, the second you count them out, that's when they have like a really good game, and the second you think they're really good, that's when they fall apart.
With that being said, though, I really dig what the Patriots are doing. So Patriots, it's not super duper hard, but it's a little hard. That's why it's 3. And then the last one, this is a slam dunk. I'd honestly almost feel more confident about this than the Panthers. Give me the Texans.
You're taking the Texans.
I think the Texans are going to cause lots of problems this year because everyone's because it's Defesh.
Yeah.
I can't believe he said they didn't have a quarterback. Like, I know CJ Stroud's had a little bit of trouble, but he is definitely a quarterback.
I mean, he's just as much a quarterback as really any of maybe like Jordan Love. I mean, he's kind of in that same.
Yeah,
although,
he's in this weird
when
I don't
he's
know
bad,
what he is.
He's really bad.
Yeah.
But he could get hot, like a la Joe Flacco, and the Texans.
That defense is real
could
good.
Be right there, and that defense is incredible. I almost flipped on this though, because it's two things. One, as soon as you are like very confident the Steelers are going to lose, that's when they win. And also the weird like Monday night home magic they have. They have not lost a home Monday night football game since I was 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So it would be kind of a wild change there, but I'm with you. I think the Texans are too good. This is where it gets complicated if you want to move on to the divisional round. So you pretty much have what I have with this Broncos Texans matchup, and then the Patriots and the Jags. So who you got in the Patriots Jags game in the divisional round?
I agree with your head. I think at this point, because they slayed the dragon, so to speak, then the Jaguars win that game.
Yeah.
And
you think the Jaguars go on the road and beat the Patriots?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be nuts. And then I am pretty confident that the Texans beat the Broncos. Don't at me, folks.
Wow. So you're pretty much just copying my homework.
Am I? Okay. Yeah, you did do that too. Sorry. I genuinely try not to look at I saw the Jaguars one, but I try not to look at the rest.
It's okay.
Seahawks win because go Seahawks.
I have no problem with you being correct.
They don't. I don't even care who they're playing.
They're playing 49ers in this.
Oh, they beat them before. They can do it again.
Instance, and then it would be Bears, Rams.
Classic bad logic, by the way. But
they beat them before. Well, they split, right?
Oh, maybe they did. But they won the most recent one. That's all.
They did win the most recent one. Bears, Rams would be the other.
That's gonna be a fun one. Bears, Rams is gonna be a fun one. I would say the Rams figure it out. So
Rams, Seahawks. Interesting Final Four that you have there. So your Final Four would be Rams, Seahawks, Texans, Jags. So let's go on to the conference. Oh, interesting.
That's so interesting.
That's exactly what I had.
Wait, you guys did this live? You did this live? Because I don't remember. I watched that show, but I don't remember this getting this far.
We did do this live. We did. Yeah.
It's
okay. I've inceptioned into your head. No, I think we're just thinking logically here.
But I will pick differently because go Seahawks.
You don't have to pick differently.
But I'm going to.
You're picking the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then it's going to be the Jags. I think whoever wins that game, I feel like it's who I'm going to have to pick the rest of the way. That's kind of the
that's kind of with the are you talking about the Jags Bills game?
Yeah,
Whoever
who
wins
knew the
that.
AFC Championship game was in the wild card round?
Yeah,
But that's kind of how it
it's
feels.
on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah,
That's like the hardest one to watch for me. I feel like
that's what Devesh was saying. Like it's like he's like mad that it's yeah.
because now that the Ravens are out of it, my wife thinks that football's over, and I'm like, I kind of like football in general.
All right, so your Super Bowl matchup,
Go Seahawks.
you end up with the Seahawks and the Jags. A lot of teal going on in this Super Bowl.
Go Seahawks.
Did was that predicted up here? Not really. There's
Not as much. No.
Not as much. So you're taking the Seahawks all the way?
Yeah, and it's not just because of Mike, but it's a lot about Mike. I think it's kind of cool what they're doing, and
yeah,
it will stop once Darnold has a stinker of a game. And the question is, will the Ravens' future coach Clint make sure that doesn't happen?
You know, it's you say that they had a game this year. I think it was against the Rams where Darnold had 5 interceptions, and they had a kick to win the game at the end of the game and missed the kick. So I think they're good enough to like survive a Darnold stinker even. And they have
the defense only gives up like 3 points. Like
they have the home field advantage throughout for their 2 games they would have to win. I don't think it's a bad pick. So I picked the Rams. Devesh picked the Bills. Okay, and you went with the Seahawks. Seahawks probably most likely, given that they're the 1 seed. The 1 seed tends to have really good odds of that happening. So
they do. I think when the Ravens got the 1 seed, it was like kind of implied they had a 50% chance of making the Super Bowl just because of that, right?
Yeah.
Between the home field advantage and just being good. So
and 1 fewer game helps a lot. You're already in the divisional round. Well, thank you for doing that. I will try to have a head for you next time. I'll have that ready to go.
Yeah, I can send you a nice picture.
Yeah. Yeah. And we will ride out the rest of this football season. And then
thanks for having me on, Derek. We'll talk about, pitchers and catchers reporting.
Hey, that's like a month away. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Can we get a pitcher?
You got Pete Alonso. Orioles signed Pete Alonso. That's pretty cool.
It is cool. Many are saying it's cool. I have no idea really who he is, other than the fact that when I looked at his stat line, I was like, he's good.
No, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Like I kept hearing that
one
name
of the best
around.
right-handed hitters in the league.
Yeah. I kept hearing that name going around. I was like, clearly he's good.
Yeah.
Just like I've never in my head canon, I can't see Valdez or Suarez throwing a ball. Like I know I've seen them pitch.
Ranger
before.
Suarez and Framber Valdez.
Yeah. It's like I've seen them throw pitches before, but I don't have them in my head canon, and they're like just a nebulous player, you know?
Yeah, and we're still waiting on Kyle Tucker hasn't signed anywhere yet. Like there's a bunch of outstanding MLB free agents right now. So I don't know. I can't remember the last time the Orioles had a big free agent signing like that.
Event. Yeah, it's usually been homegrown guys.
The last time I can think was when they brought. You may not remember when they brought
Albert
in Bell. Miguel Tejada and
Miguel Tejada, Albert Bell,
Sammy Sosa.
Those are big ones.
But
Sammy Sosa, the back half of his career, but it was big.
I
love what they're doing. The Grayson trade hurt a lot.
It was a little shocking. Yeah,
I was at his first home game. His debut was in Texas, which was kind of nice because he's from there. But his first time I was there, I got this T-shirt. I really love the whole gas him up meme or whatever. And he had that bulldog mentality whenever he was out there, and he could really get on a heater. And it was a lot of fun to watch. And also he was the chosen one, right? Everyone thought he was going to be really good. Him and Boz, ironically, when out of that draft class were 1-2, and people were watching them go up the ranks.
Yeah.
But I really do hope it looks like a bad trade just because I want to be able to root for Grayson. But at the same time, I think it wouldn't surprise me if in this 1 year of Ward, it's more important to this team now than Rodriguez would have been. So
if history's any indicator, it's not going to work out for the Angels because they sold their souls for the 2002 World Series and haven't. I mean, you realize Mike Trout is one of the best players of this century, maybe the best. And he's played in 3 playoff games his entire career. It's just like, and they had him and Shohei Ohtani on the same team, didn't play in a single playoff game. So I don't know. I don't see that really working out for the Angels either, because just doesn't seem. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad you were able to come on, eulogize the Ravens season. They'll be back. It's the best. Honestly, it's kind of freeing to now just be able to think about the off season and it's endless possibilities of a prosperous future. So
I'm not there yet. I need like a real cool down period with football. I don't even do the show anymore, and I feel like I can't start looking at the draft seriously until mid-March.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with fantasy right now. I can't really look at it, but I'm excited about the playoffs. Anything you want to plug? You mentioned your blog where
that's basically all I do these days online. Pulianas.com. I don't really do any other things. I shout out to, if you want draft coverage, granted it has a Ravens bend to it, but he gives, I think, really fantastic opinions, and his big board's awesome. His Huddle Up Films, my buddy. I go on his show frequently. Yes, he talks about like from a Ravens perspective, but that guy can scout. It's really impressive to see him work. And if you want to get into the draft and you want a difference of opinion, and a guy that's not like normal, like, I don't know, gets a lot of buzz or whatever, check him out. I think you'll really like it.
Nice. I was Huddle Up Films.
Huddle It Up Films.
Huddle It Up Films. All right.
Yeah.
I'll try to put a link in the description. You can go check that out, and you can check out Alec's blog, Wicked themed, and
for now,
the crossover, the most ambitious crossover event in history. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and I will talk to you soon.